Action movies are not what they used to be, and a lot of us can agree that the 80s and 90s had some of the best action movies that just can't be replicated anymore. Welcome to Retro Needy, where we love nostalgic countdowns. Today, we're going to be counting down our top 10 action movies from the 90s. We're going to be looking at mostly movies from the main action, thriller, and superhero genres, so movies with aliens or time traveling will not be in this list. But be sure to subscribe because we will be working on a 90s sci-fi movie countdown coming soon. Number 10. Blade. Blade was Marvel's first cinematic success and opened the doors for even more of its films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The film stars Wesley Snipes as Blade, a human born from a woman who had been bit by a vampire, causing him to inherit the strengths and supernatural abilities of vampires, but not their weaknesses, making him the perfect vampire hunter. Blade's only downside is that sometimes he does have the thirst for blood, but he suppresses it with a serum that he injects himself with. This vampire-slaying superhero action film was released in August of 1998 and made over $131.2 million worldwide. Also, rumor has it that there may be a Blade reboot in the works for late 2023. Number 9. Air Force One. In this 1997 film, Harrison Ford stars as U.S. President James Marshall. His plane, Air Force One, is hijacked by terrorists, and the action and suspense escalate throughout the movie as the president single-handedly tries to retake his plane from the terrorists and save the hostages. Almost sounds like the plot of Die Hard, only on a plane in the sky. But even so, with an $85 million budget, Air Force One was a box office success. Released in July of 1997, it made over $315 million worldwide. Number 8. Batman Returns. Batman Returns is the sequel to Tim Burton's 1989 film Batman. Released June 1992, Batman Returns sees Michael Keaton again as Batman, with Danny DeVito playing villain Penguin and Michelle Pfeiffer as the quasi-villain Catwoman. Many will criticize Tim Burton's approach with this movie, but others regard it as genius and love the dark gothic ambience, in that they make Gotham feel more like its own place rather than a replica of New York City, which is what other modern Batman movies have felt like. Batman Returns did pretty good at the box office, bringing in nearly $163 million in the US, making it the third highest grossing film in America in 1992 and the sixth highest in the world, with totals of $266.9 million. Number 7. True Lies. In 1994, James Cameron brought us the action blockbuster True Lies, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jamie Lee Curtis. In this film, secret agent Harry Tasker lives a double life, where his wife Helen thinks he's a boring computer salesman who goes on frequent business trips, but in reality, he works for a US counterterrorism and intelligence agency called the Omega Sector. Everything takes a turn when Harry accidentally gets his wife involved with his real mission. True Lies did amazing in theaters, bringing in over $378 million worldwide and becoming the third highest grossing film in 1994. Number 6. The Mask of Zorro. The masked vigilante Zorro comes to life in this 1998 swashbuckling film. The Mask of Zorro, starring Antonio Banderas and Anthony Hopkins as the mysterious masked swordsman who leaves his mark by slashing a Z wherever he's been. The Mask of Zorro was filmed in Mexico City and was originally supposed to be released in December of 1997, but multiple production problems extended its shooting schedule. The film was finally released in theaters in July 1998, coming to a worldwide total of $250 million by the end of its theatrical run. Number 5. Mission Impossible. Based on the original TV series from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, Mission Impossible, starring Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt, opened in theaters May 22, 1996. In this first movie installment, Ethan Hunt must uncover the mole at the Impossible Missions Force who caused the death of his teammates. Plenty of thrilling action in this espionage theatrical film, but did you know that there is not a single shootout in the entire movie? Really, there isn't. Tom Cruise points a gun and has one pointed at him, but he never pulls the trigger. Regardless, Mission Impossible did quite well at the box office, bringing in a total worldwide number of $457.6 million. Number 4. GoldenEye. GoldenEye was the 17th film in the James Bond series. But did you know that the 17th film was supposed to be a Timothy Dalton film instead? Following License to Kill in 1989, Dalton was supposed to have shot a third James Bond movie, but due to legal disputes with movie studios, that never happened. And instead, the 17th James Bond film became GoldenEye, with Pierce Brosnan as the new James Bond. And it's a good thing too, because License to Kill had been a commercial flop, and GoldenEye truly resurrected the franchise, bringing in $356 million at the box office after its release in November 1995. Plus, the video game became an unforgettable classic on the Nintendo 64 console. Number 3. The Fugitive. The 1993 action thriller The Fugitive, starring Harrison Ford and Tommy Lee Jones, is based on the television series from the 1960s. In this film, Dr. Richard Kimball is wrongly convicted for the murder of his wife and given a death sentence. However, on the way to death row, other prisoners on the bus cause an accident which leads Kimball to escape and hunt down the real killer of his wife, all while U.S. Marshal Samuel Gerard closely tails behind him. This movie is full of suspense that will keep you on the edge of your seat, and it's interesting that a lot of the dialogue is improvised, and filming began before the script was even completed. But even so, The Fugitive received a strong response at the box office, totaling over $368 million in 1993. Number 2. Face Off. John Travolta and Nicolas Cage star in Face Off, a film where FBI Special Agent Sean Archer, played by Travolta, undergoes a face transplant procedure, taking the face of wanted terrorist Castor Troy, played by Cage, in order to gain information from Castor Troy's accomplice brother. The movie becomes even crazier and very entertaining when the comatose Castor Troy unexpectedly wakes up and takes on the face and life of Archer. The original script for the film had a setting in the future, which would make the film more of a science fiction film, but director John Woo decided to change the setting to the present to focus on the dramatic and psychological elements of the storyline. Face Off was released in theaters June 27, 1997, and earned a total worldwide gross of over $245 million. Number 1. Speed. Keanu Reeves, alongside Sandra Bullock, star in this adrenaline-pumping, high-action thriller. Speed had initially been written with the title Minimum Speed, and that minimum speed was written as 20 miles per hour to prevent the bus from exploding. But everyone can agree that it's a good thing they changed the title to just Speed and to 50 miles per hour, or else I doubt it would have been as entertaining to watch. With a budget of up to $37 million, Speed was released in theaters in June 1994, becoming a commercial success and grossing over $350 million at the box office, also bringing in 2 Academy Awards for the Best Sound Effects Editing and Best Sound. These movies are truly unforgettable. And don't forget, if your favorite wasn't on the list, and especially if it was a sci-fi action movie, we'll be working on a top 10 sci-fi movie list coming soon. We hope you enjoyed that bit of a nostalgia flashback. Don't forget to hit that like button on the way to the next video, and we'll see you here for another nostalgic countdown on Retro Needy.